like a very soft T sound on our K's, so that we don't say kupu or moku, but motu, you know, very soft, yeah. And it's like motu, you know, with that kind of emphasis. Okay, we have to be happy about this giving birth of the island. Okay, so we have to pick it up. The one okay, ready? Follow. So we're doing this with a talking style. The paha is a little slower than the kippa. So it's talking about pau wiki, pau nui, pau loa, pau poko. Pau wa ule huai tamanu e. Okay, that kind of style. Okay, shall we try? Eh? O makakako. The paha, that's the kind of style. See, you give it a little bit more help on the side to make it come alive. Like I put the word lehilehu mai lai tione hapuita papa e nalu. You know, kakale tamalama. You know, see, because kakale kamalama, you're talking about the kind of surf. After you get on your surfboard and you're going out. Okay. Okay, then not too fast on the island. Okay.
Edith Kanakaole told me that, you know, we put the cart before the horse. We should have learned the melees first. See, the melee has all the history and things before we started to do the dance. But the dance was the thing that has been carried on for the longest length of time. Not so much the melee. So what's needed right now is a lot of people are forgetting some of the older chants. And that's the area that needs to really be focused on coming in the future. Otherwise, we're not going to have a... You know, you need a tie with the past, because the past gives you, you know, who you are. Both brothers married the same wife. So what you have
Edith Mackenzie would also become a teacher of the Hawaiian language. By the early 1970s, she was already an accomplished dancer, but she still sought to learn more and approached Kumuhula Hoakale Kamau'u.
She was working for the State Foundation of Culture and Arts, and that was a time that the stress was that they thought that we were losing the older dances, and so they wanted to focus on trying to see if we can get people interested in the old dances, you know, the traditional dances.
And during that time when I was called to train instructors in the ancient hulas, here classes were began on Oahu here. We took a survey of all different kumuhulas that was teaching at that time, if they were teaching the ancient hulas, and if traditional, and if they weren't, why not? And most of the reason that came back was they didn't know enough.
Hoakale's hula knowledge had been given to her by her aunt, Iolani Luahine. Often, Hoakale would perform as Iolani's ho'opa'a, or chanter.
And it was through Kavena Puku'i that she told Iolani, it's about time you start training a member of your family to do some of these dances. And that's where I came into the picture. First chanting for her, you know, going over. Yet I had to learn the dance, not just learning to ho'opa'a. To be a ho'opa'a, you do both chanting and dancing with them. So live with her on Ilani Way Street, right in Kaka'ako. Creativity is good, but keep it within the style that you learn. And that is one thing that she always stressed. And what you have learned from me, you teach it the same way. And that's the way tradition will follow through. Don't change any of them. When you do change, then it becomes unpure. not as pure as the way you learned it. If you're going to teach your students another way, if they went out and teach, be instructors, and change it, what will happen to the hula after? It won't be the same. It'll be different.
Emerson, in his book on unwritten literature of Hawaii, talked about a dance which he called hula ki'i. And this was a form of dance that Iolani Luahine was a great proponent of. And she took like stances of the ki'i, of the human images. And she used these hula ki'i movements to portray the old gods.
As Ho'okale shared her knowledge, she and the other hula masters became concerned that their hula would be changed forever.
I said, how do you feel when you have come and you taught us a dance, then you come back again and you see you taught 10, then you had 10 versions of it after. He says, it hurts because what I shared is what my instructor gave me.
Like so many other hula teachers throughout the generations, Ho'okale has chosen to share her hula knowledge within the family. Her daughter, Macy Kamauoha, performs a hula ala'apapa for Queen Kapi'olani.
Hei no no ma kahikina. Ai e ho'i ke aloha in I hau. E ho'i.
E ho'i ke aloha ni I hau e. Te wei unau ka pao o e.
E ho'i.
The li'is in ancient times were the sponsors of many hulas. In other words, they had hula dances assigned to the chiefs are in those melees. And I think that their focus, and the EO's focus was a really good focus to bring in the history so that we can learn all about the ali'is.
Aya.
Ayo ni hoa mahope e. Ita lauha papai te dei e.
Aya.
Ayo ni hoa mahope e. Ita lauha papai te dei e.
Okala.
Otala bella bella I te sula e. Kulia tu te aloi taua I e.
Okala.
With me, I still do it the way I was being taught. And the beauty that it has to keep it in that most simplicity form that it was taught. Because each one is different. Each one tells a different story, like any of our dances. Then you have that love for the dance. And to instill that in a dancer so that they would have the love for the dance.
Hei no no Kapi'olani.